Hey everyone, this video is a continuation from the other video I've done on Backbone and React. Now, I've done the other video before before I used this code in production. So what it was just a theory I looked at. I looked at it and I thought, yeah, can this work? And I tested it on here. But to be honest, you really need to test it in production and you need to have an API. So what it is, I actually ran it in production and it didn't work. It was very slow. And then I realized what the mistake was. Now I'll show you what I learned so that you don't have to repeat my mistakes if you ever use in protection. However, once I set it up, it worked perfectly fine. And now I'm going to carry on using it. So this is the main problem that I had, is that this thing here called add, what happens is, this is a project I've done, and this counts the vendors. What I've done is I limited it to 150. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to simulate a refresh by doing that. And as you can see, that comes on, and then afterwards, that's the top of the table. Then afterwards, the contents of the body is going to come on. And as you can see, it's very slow, and it's done 150 renders. The reason it done that is because this add, we shouldn't really listen to the add. What we ought to listen to is, we need to listen to update, reset, and change. So what I'm going to now do is, in this code, I'm going to change it, and then we're going to see the difference. So where it says add and remove, I'm going to change that to update. So all you need to listen to is add, update, reset, and change. So I'm going to save that. Oops. And now I've lost my window. Okay. I'll just open a new one. Now as you can see, that says one render. Okay. Can you see? It's got one render. Now, if I click the about, you're going to see something. Can you see that? The top of the table comes first, then the body afterwards. Can you see what happens there? That doesn't look good. It doesn't do it every time, but you see, you done it then. It's done it a bit quick. So with these JavaScript libraries, it's a common problem you're gonna have. So what you have to do is you have to inject some of the content into the page. It's quite easy to do. So I'll show you. So what you do is, I'm just injecting it into the page here using this. So what would happen is, if I go at the top here, that data will come in here. So all I have to do is uncomment this line. And what it will do is, as soon as the page starts up, it will probably inject the first 60 lines. In fact, let me check what it will do. In fact, that will do the first 106. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this to say 40. So what that will do is that will take the first 40 lines and it will inject them onto the page. Okay, so let me just restart that. And you're going to see a difference now. You're going to see that everything's going to come up at the same time. Can you see how it all come at the same time? So I'll take it off. And put it back on. Take it off. Put it back on. So it all comes up at the same time. That's how you want it to do it. And there's only one render there. Now another thing I want to show you is when you do an API, when you do a put, which is this here, that's a put. When you update the object, you're supposed to return the object back. Okay? Now, unfortunately, when you return the object back, that will create an extra render. That will create an extra render when you return the object. So my solution is just simply not returning the object. So what happens is, you update the object and then it just returns okay. It doesn't return the object back. It depends on the, like sometimes you update the value in the database and you return back the value, and then if the value is different from the value, which is unlikely to be, then you return it back for a check. But to be honest, I think it's unlikely to be different, so I don't think there's any harm in doing this. To get that back. So that's all it is. You just have to make sure you use update, reset, and change. If you're doing a put request, you have to if you return back the object, then that will cause an extra render. And I know this because I've got this thing counting the renders. Like if I do this, every time it does a render, it gets counted on here. Okay. It's not doing a render now, so you can see it's not doing anything. So can you see what it's doing? Every time I'm doing a render, okay. So now it's functioning right now. As you can see, jumped. Can you see? You can see jump a bit. Can you see how that jumped? So what I could easily do is I'm gonna increase that to 60. So I'm gonna push 60 objects onto the page, and then the API is gonna do the rest. Let's just finish building. That's finished. So if I refresh this now, you don't see the jump. Can you see there wasn't much of a jump? If you look at this thing here, you might see that jump. Can you see? In fact, you do see that jump. Because first it puts 60 objects onto the page. So that means everything starts up together, and then after that it puts the other objects. Now the initial objects that it puts on the page, I'll show you where it stores them. It stores them in here, and it stores them as base64. You don't have to put base64. But I've put base64. The reason why I put it is I don't know where this. You're gonna I don't control where this data comes from. So I import the data from somewhere else, and because I'm putting it on the page, for this to work, I'll have to put raw text. And because I don't want to put raw text, because somebody might put some JavaScript in there and hack it. So because of that, I've got to escape. I just convert it to base64, which is a good solution considering that. If I don't convert it, I'll have to put the raw text on the screen, and people can, they can use JavaScript exploits. So this prevents it. So this is the initial information. Okay, it's just base64. Then I convert it back to an object, and then I put it on the screen. So as soon as I'll do a refresh. As soon as it comes up, you see it all come together instead of the top and bottom. Okay, so I'm gonna end the video now, and I just want to say that Backbone and React, they go together well. I've used it in production, and there's no problem with it whatsoever. Okay. So obviously, when you use Backbone and when you use it together, then obviously normally with Backbone you use the state. Some people have libraries that sync the state together with the Backbone model, but in my opinion, you may as well just use the Backbone model, like I'm doing here. So I'm getting this data. This is what I normally do. You don't have to do this. In fact, I'll show you some other code where I tried a different way to do it. So what you could do is, as you can see, that is the Backbone model. You can either use get, as you can see I'm using get here, or you can just get the item out to JSON and then use this. I prefer this way because what you could do, you can do filters like this. You can filter it, you can reverse it, you can sort it. You can probably do it here as well, but it's probably more awkward to do it here. With this one, I think you can do more, or it's easy. You see, because all you're dealing with is a normal JavaScript object. This changes it to a normal JavaScript object, so there shouldn't be any problem. And to be honest, there's other ways you can do. You can do JSON stringify. Instead of if you didn't want to use to JSON, or to JSON wasn't, sometimes you need a deep copy. And to be honest, I don't know the spec of to JSON, but if you had objects that were extremely deep, all you'd have to do is parse it's JSON dot stringify, and then what you do is you put that in there, and then what you do then is JSON dot parse. Okay. Okay. So this to JSON, this thing called to JSON, it does exactly what it. Well, I can't say it does exactly. I haven't tested it. But when I get information from API, it's normally shallow information. Like it might go 2 levels deep. And in my test with 2 levels deep, it works. However, I'm not sure. Somebody might be doing some information and it's like 10 levels deep. So if this doesn't work, you can just use this, and this will go 10 levels deep. Okay. Obviously, it's easier to write this to JSON than it is to do all of this code, so that's why I use it. But as far as I can see, there isn't any problem. This is the only problem I can see where people might think, okay, to JSON isn't deep enough, or it doesn't go. I think it probably does go deep enough, but I haven't tested it. But even if it doesn't go deep enough, you just have to do a bit more typing. Use this, and that will go 10 levels deep. Or the probably is something else that's a bit quicker than this. That will go even deeper. But anyway, thanks for watching the video. Till next time, bye.